Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to JAHAN-E, your own channel. Today is Wednesday, and this day is fixed for the women. This day is dedicated to all the women around the globe. The name of the show is Nari Tere Man Ki Baat, because here in this show we discuss the issues related to women and we try to motivate the women folks, those who are the part and parcel of this life, not only 50%, but even their role is more than that. Women are the creators, women are the shapers, women are the one. Because of them, there is life on this earth. A great poet, Allama Iqbal, has said that Wajood-e zan se hai tasveer-e kainat mein rang. If there is color in this universe, that is just because of the women. Otherwise, there is no color. But why there are so many issues related to women is still prevailing in our societies. In spite of so many struggles, in spite of so many strives, still the women are suffering. And why women are not given due respect and regard and rights in even 21st century. So these are some crucial questions that we try to find out the answers in this show, Nari Tere Man Ki Baat. Today in this show, Nari Tere Man Ki Baat, we have invited a guest, a renowned educationist, and a very, very simple, sober, and noble soul. We have invited Mrs. K. Naga Seetha, who herself is a practitioner of spirituality, who believes in spirituality and who believes in humanity. We are going to discuss in details that is spirituality and women. What is the relationship? What is the status of women in this area, especially in spirituality? So let us welcome to Mrs. K. Naga Seetha. Hello, Naga Seetha ma'am. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me onto this show. And it's my pleasure being here to talk about spirituality, where spirituality is what I've been practicing right from my childhood. It's nothing new to me. Spirituality, according to me, is something that we believe that there is a superpower which is running behind this. It is enforcing the planets, or it is the sense of belief that there is something greater than me, where I connect, connect to it. It is a well-being and a peace of mind. It is nature. It is gratitude. It is thanking. It is being mindful. It is believing in us. It is trust. So when we connect to our inner feelings, and we believe that, yes, there is a power which is running the universe. So I totally believe that there is a superpower, and that is what is the spirit in us, and we are connecting to the outer world. It gives a sense of peace, balance among the physical, emotional, and social, and the spiritual aspects of our lives. When we are balanced, when we think about the inner feelings, and when we are connected, and we just treat and believe that, yes, there is a superpower, and we just connect just like a human being as we are talking, as we are greeting, then it is so good that we are being ourselves. We are being truthful to ourselves. We are just being a human being. We are accepting it. And that is the spirituality. The benefits of spirituality are, we are controlling, we are let going our stress. We are balanced, maybe we don't have any diabetes, or I've seen that people who practice the spirituality, they are less ailment of any of the medical reports saying that, yes, they don't have any of the heart ailments, or they don't suffer any of the sufferings. So that is the practice. Most of the time, if we devote a time for this well-being, that is really, it makes us balance. It gives us peace as we are connected to the inner self, believing ourselves and trusting ourselves, at the same time believing that there is a superpower. It's not related to any religion or something like that. I do believe that. That is my belief. I totally.
Thank you very much, Naga Seetha. That is really a very comprehensive definition of spirituality. That yes, where we think about something that is that has superpower, that is greater than us, and we submit to us and everything to him. Now coming to Madam Reihana Abdullah, what is your understanding of spirituality?
Hi, good evening. Spirituality, I'm not a very spiritual person. So normally when we talk about spirituality, people associate it with religion, but actually spirituality is something different. It is in touch with your spirit being. That's how I see it. And because we are, we all think that, people think that we are human beings on a spiritual journey, but actually that is so far from the truth. We are actually spiritual beings on a human journey, on earth. That is how we are. So
philosophical.
I read it somewhere. No, but it really touched my heart, and I really believe in that, because we are actually spirit by nature. And we were creators, and we are on a human journey, on an earthly journey, so-called earthly journey, to reach back and to gain all that experience on this earth, and then return back to our heavenly abode, where we will be there and learn from this experience, or grow from this experience, and how we will be in heaven from this experience. So spirituality is being in touch with your spiritual side, of your true nature, of your true heavenly nature. And that spirit in you, how you treat it or how you develop it, is from your experiences that you have, from the choices that you make, and from the decisions that you have taken. And these create they always have this one, they have two angels sitting on us, one is telling us to do, in Western terms, they say one is telling you to do good things, one is telling you to do bad things. But that's not true also, I think that it is within us, and we make the choices. God has given us choices for us to choose, because we have been given intellect. And that intellect is not available in animals. Only humans have it. And this intellect is what gives us the freedom of choice. So in our earthly experience, we actually decide how we are to behave. We know what is right and wrong, and we choose the path that we resonate with. So spirituality is being in touch with your true self, and to be able to ascend all the negative, or ascend from our basal self, which is our animal self, which we all have in us, that animal self, and to ascend that through our experiences in life, to be able to elevate ourselves from this earthly abode. So that's my two takes on my two cents worth on spirituality. I'm not a very spiritual person, as I said, or religious or whatever it is, but I do believe in spirituality.
Thank you, Reihana. This is your understanding of spirituality, and being spiritual is really, it is. I think is that it is just opposite of being materialistic. If you are not materialistic, then you are spiritual. That is my understanding. Let me ask Dr. Ram, what is his understanding of spirituality?
Good evening, all. Spirituality is a kind of way of life when they are having some kind of belief system, and they wanted to formulate such a kind of disciplinary actions to follow the way of life. So that is aligned together. They are having the belief and they are making the way of discipline to approach the belief system. So that is the boundary for them to coordinate well for the day-to-day activities, as well as the journey of life to lead and making the transformation for their minds and their ambitions. So that is the concept I believe, and I wanted to make the people to understand. But there are different kind of conflicts between the spiritual people. They are believing on certain kind of elements or certain kind of systematic approach. They are following their own system. Everybody has their own belief system and following methods. So we cannot able to discriminate. We cannot able to differentiate. It is their attitude, their own tendency. They are believing and they are following the rituals as well as the disciplinary ways to follow. So that is the segment. But ultimately, the aim of the spirituality is making the inner transformation, making the way of life to lead and generate something better for them. That is the ultimate goal for each and everyone who are following the spiritualism.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ram. Now there is more clarity on spirituality after your discussion. Now people say that spirituality is to spread happiness. Spirituality is to spread generosity. Mostly the spiritual people are generous. It's also said that the spiritual people are less inclined towards suicide because mostly they are happy and they are ready to face the challenges. It's also said at times that spirituality is being religious. Now I would come to Mrs. K. Naga Seetha, and I would like to ask that what are the benefits of spirituality? Are the spiritual people really generous, and which type of traits they have?
Spiritual people, first is fearlessness is the first sign of a spiritual person. Like when you have a fear or chronic worry, your life is taken by that fear, or you cannot be in the present moment. So generally they are fearless. They don't have the fear. And they see things that they are really without illusions or sets you free. And spiritual people are not bogged down by the expectations or assumptions or hate or resentment or extreme desire or attachments to things. So, they are well balanced and they eat properly. They are conscious about every little thing. So I'm thinking that they are set free of any other health ailments too, because as it is the way of living, they're very conscious about it. Right. Hope I answered your question, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much, K. Naga Seetha. That's really true. That spiritual people are less attached towards the materialistic things. That's why they are less greedy and they are more generous. They believe more into giving to others. And in this way, we can find, when I'm going to look at the broader aspect of spirituality, I find that is the purpose of life. So if somebody is not spiritual, it means that somebody is not able to fulfill the purpose of life fully to its fullest meaning. We are here in this world. What is the purpose to be here? To be beneficial for others. And that's what I think spirituality helps us to build in us. Now coming to spirituality and women, when I was looking at the religious aspect, I found that mostly men are into the religious affairs, I must say. Maybe the ladies are more religious, but into the affairs of religion, we find that men are more involved in this. Whether it is any religion, whether it is Hinduism or it is Islam or Sikhism or Christianity or any other religion. Similarly, when I see the spirituality, I find that yes, here also we found that men are more into spirituality than women. This may be my humble observation, and maybe the truth is something else. Reihana, Abdullah, what do you say? Is this the fact or it is just opposite?
I think because now we are talking about spirituality like as a religion, then of course, as I said, for me, I don't believe spirituality is religion. I believe they are two separate things. Religion is man-made, spirituality is God-made. So that's how I see it. And if you say in terms of religion, yes, a lot of men are probably at the helm of the religious sect because simply because women menstruate. And so they are considered not pure by some religions to take on those posts. And that's why you find that men are more into, even in temples or in mosques, things like that. They are the ones, they are more spiritual, so-called. I would say more religious, so-called, because they believe the women folk are not up to the standard, so kind of thing. So, I mean, and also this is also man-made. Man made the rules for all these as well. So I don't think God would want that in that way. So that's my take on that. But yes, if you're talking about religion, yes, men are at the helm of the religious organizations or whatever it is. They are the priests or they are the mosque head or something like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Reihana. Thank you for your logical answer, I must say. But I think here, when we are discussing about spirituality, we are discussing beyond religion. If we are going to confine it into religion, then it is a very narrow concept of spirituality.
Correct.
And then again, it is going to bring narrow-mindedness in the society or in the human race. While human race is beyond the religions. Spirituality teaches us to go beyond the religions. If I am generous and if I am giving something to people, should I look at that time that who belongs to which religion? If we are doing that, that is not spirituality. That is just being very narrow-minded and very, I said, the wrong concept of even religion also. Even religion doesn't teach that to be like that. So, Dr. Ram, what is your say on this? As Reihana said, that if spirituality we are talking in terms of religion, then naturally religion is in the religious affairs, men are more into forefront. But is spirituality is into only religious term or it is beyond that? And then how women are seen into spiritual affairs?
Way because of ancient time, men are more dominant and men are to control the social activities and the social transformations. They are the decision makers. They are thinking women coming into that kind of pictures, it is very unsafe and it is going to demolish the male dominant society structures and the women are equal. Now the slogan gender equality is coming under the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Gender equality is making the sense for men and women are equal. They can live and lead together for whatever the empowerment strategy is going to happen and make the transformation. When coming to speak about the spirituality is belief system. So the religious things are the guidelines. I mentioned there are a lot of belief system available for the people. For Hindu religion, they are having the belief on different gods and different creatures. So the belief system is mentioning us. There are male god. They are following different kind of system to approach whatever they wanted to follow. But the way of guidance, the ritual and the discipline activities are getting changed according to the regional, the way the hereditary of inheritance, what they are following in the family, what they are following in the particular communal level. The systems are quite discriminating and it is not the same. It is not the same for the different communal level. People who are following very orthodox, There are people who are following not that much orthodox, but the condition of life is we have to believe on certain things, whether it's the God or whether it is the spiritualism, the religious activities which are guiding them. But the way of life is making the fulfillment, making the pleasureful living, making the conditions to care and help other people. So these are all common for all the religious things, all the spiritualism who are willing to follow. Behalf of the God they wanted to support, behalf of the God or by the name of the God they wanted to support, either the way. But ultimately the care and share is the ultimate revolving things for the code of practices and core activities. So we can able to think, how do we able to embrace our life, the mindfulness, the conditions of living, whether we are thinking all humans are same and all human beings need to be worshipped, all humanity values are important for the society. So that is the particular purpose I'm willing to mention. Now the crisis is everywhere. The people are having the concern about the wartime, the people who are getting after, even though they are not relating. Only the thing is they are also human beings. They are suffering a lot. So that is the ultimate feelings. Everyone can able to endorse for that. So that is the purpose of life. We need to worship the fellow human beings. We need to recognize the humanity values. We have to aspirate for the betterment, whether you are following the spiritualism or whether you are religiously strict to that. But the ultimate thing is we have to emphasize on it. How do we able to love and take care of the community, people, and their better life? And these are all the values. And even in Nepal, there are a lot of multi-religious activities, control of law. Everybody is having the equal rights. Everybody having the threshold to live and lead better. No discrimination between one religion is best and another religion is not the best. To safe and secure nature of living togetherness, making the religious harmony. That is very, very important. So everyone must need to understand others' culture, others' values, and worship and admire it. That is the ultimate thing. These are all the way we have to make some kind of mature transformation to understand better. Whether we are repairing that kind of tendency to admire and appreciate the person's values. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ram, and very valid points you have brought for all of us. That spirituality is naturally beyond the religion. Religion is a path to achieve spirituality in life. Naturally, we have to adopt any path to go over there. So before we conclude our program, I would request all of you to kindly say a beautiful message to the viewers that how it is important that women should also embrace spirituality and women should also be close to the nature, and why it is important that women should also be more closer to Almighty, the superpower, and why it is also important for women to be to gain more power through practicing the spiritual practices, like being less materialistic, being more helpful for the people, and being more closer to the nature, and being more closer to the Almighty who has created us. So what is your message, Naga Seetha ma'am?
So the major characteristics of spirituality, it includes a sense of wholeness and harmony, and within oneself, with others, and with God, or the highest power, whatever they believe. So this does not mean that the individuals are satisfied with their life or have all the answers. But as the life unfolds, there will be a situation that causes anxiety or helplessness or hopelessness or confusion, causing complex and spiritual questions that can be found. But it tries to unfold that. And and the benefits of the spirituality, if someone is practicing it, it lowers stress and depression, reduces blood pressure, improves the functioning of the immune system, increases the social interactions, lowers rates of anxiety, improves mental well-being, and increases the longevity. So this is what actually a spirituality is, because as we are having that balanced way of living, right? So it's better that when we are having so much of just living the way we are, as these are the benefits, I think uh, everyone now is looking for mindfulness, being happy. So when we are in the spiritual way, I think everyone will have lot of solutions. They can find their own solutions and live in harmony. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share.
Thank you very much for such a beautiful character explanation of characteristics of spirituality. And I think that is the solution for today's sufferings of the people. Now, Reihana, Abdullah, coming to you, although you believe that you are not very spiritual, but in our interaction with you and in our like day-to-day dealing, we have found you that yes, you are a spiritual person, because you believe in helping the people, going beyond that. You have a strong faith in God, and you believe to be the closer of Almighty. So yes, Reihana.
So my final take on this is that, we all can become spiritual as long as we are always on the path of improvement, of empowering ourselves, and of finding our true purpose in our life. Because to me, spirituality, at the end of the day, as I said, we are spiritual beings on a earthly journey. We need to find that purpose to keep us on earth, to fulfill the needs of ourselves and of the people in this world as well, because we are connected. We are spiritually connected to each other in every way, and every human being is a spirit linked to us, and how we behave, how we go through our life will determine how we end up in our spiritual world. So each one of us, as long as we are always on this path of searching, I always believe like a growth mindset. So even in spirituality, we have to have a growth mindset, that we are always evolving, growing, and reaching for the highest self within us. And that is how I want to end this. Thank you. Back over to you.
Thank you, Reihana. Thank you very much. Yes, that is how we are going to find our highest version, and how we are going to find the supreme power connection with the supreme power plus. Thank you very much for your beautiful advice to the people. And now coming to Rehan. Yes, Rehan, you are a young boy, professional, working and having lots of dreams to become millionaire and to have a very luxurious life. And I believe that is not a bad thing. What is your understanding of spirituality, and how do you plan to be more spiritual in the future?
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for giving the opportunity to say something on this. As I'm not a spiritual person, but I do something to be a spiritual person, because it gives peace of mind, and it reduces the anger, and it develops the ability to help others, to benefit, to give something to the society. So what I do, I give food to poor people. I give happiness to others who are in sad mode. I approach to the people who actually need my suggestions and guidance. Whatever I can do, I feel happy to do that. For me, it is the one step to become spiritual person. That's all about from my side. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Rehan. Thank you. When you have started doing this, then naturally, slowly and gradually, you are going to achieve the level of spirituality that will take time. But this, initially, if you are doing this and you have the plan of continuing this, that's a very good sign. Now coming to Dr. Ram, what will be your advice to the viewers?
Yeah, the session is going on good, and there are a lot of inputs and thought-provoking messages shared. My way of approaching the spirituality is quality of life. whether you are following the life, the activities, or any kind of leading segments, whether it is making the sensible quality for making yourself to lead and live better. And that is the way you have to follow the spiritual belief, whatever it may be, whether you are believing the system, the God, or believing the following things, or any components involved with that. That is making the quality for you to live and live better. And also kind of religious activities, their religion in the middle of the time. Recently, I read there are people from South India, they wanted to become Sikh. Sikh. They follow Guru Nanak, and they wanted to shift into the Sikh religion. So there are people, they have the rights. There are people who wanted to change from one religion to another religion. They are following the kind of reputation. Actually, they want to lead the quality of life which are guided by the particular religious harmonious kind of situations. They have to mingle with the community in that kind of aspects. They have to worship. Full for them. And ultimately, as I already mentioned clearly, it is the humanity to concern about the fellow human beings, for helping them, for carrying them, for making them to lead the life without any problem. So many spiritual people, they are having this kind of attitude. They don't want to have the possessiveness or the possession. So they are living for the conditions, they are leading the life for the situations, for sacrificing many things for others' sake. That is the way the spiritual people, they are not having that kind of tendency for having this kind of possession or possessiveness. And that is the ultimate target for many mature people. They transform their life into that level. But the religious customization are plenty. The people, they are having the belief of, there are people who wanted to make some kind of neutral things, and there are people who are deviating from that. It is available for all community, all religious things, but my assumption, my belief system is making the transformation in the humanities and human values which are supporting for the better living and the quality of life to live better. That is the conditions, making the world transform into this kind of way. Every religion, every spiritual activities are endorsing to love yourself and love others. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ram. And I thank each one of you for sharing your valuable inputs about spirituality. And this is the fact that new spirituality believes that we have to think beyond the religion, and religion is a path to achieve spirituality, but it is more like mindfulness about everything, mindfulness about our health, mindfulness about our connection to God, mindfulness about our connection with the people, mindfulness about our own feelings, and mindfulness about our reactions to the situations, mindfulness about our thinking about the future and thinking about this world. So I think this spirituality is a very good thing if everybody practices it religiously, and it gives us lots of a scope of being global, connecting globally, and helping each other, and being able to understand the people's feelings with empathy. So I think the skills or the qualities that a human being requires in 21st century, this spirituality teaches us each one of them. And that's why I always advocate that we have to be spiritual for everything. We should not think that what we are going to get in the materialistic thing, because every materialistic thing is not going us the peace of mind or happiness. But yes, of course, if we are doing the things for the sake of inner happiness, for the sake of happiness of the Almighty, or sake of the happiness of the superpower, then naturally we are going to get lots of satisfaction and peace and happiness in life. Thank you, each one of you. Thank you, Reihana. Thank you, Dr. Naga, Seetha. Thank you, Dr. Ram. And thank you, Rehan. And thank you, all the viewers, those who are watching on live. Let me just thank one or two of them, those who are there, Aziza Mirza, Imam Azam, and all others, those who are watching this program, Bilal Hassan and all others. Let me thank you all for being there, and may Almighty bless you. Let's start practicing spirituality. Thank you.